There are many tales about rabbits, yet rabbits have barely any tail at all. You can look at any rabbit outside and see their short, stubby, yet adorably fluffy tail. You think, why so short? Why so little? There are many stories about why rabbits have so little tail, and so I will recount such tales. So now, gather round, let me tell you a few of these tales. Tales about rabbits, and how the rabbits lost their tails. The first tale is from Brazil. One day, the rabbit was sleeping away carelessly, with his long, beautiful tail out behind him. But then came along a cat with a sharp knife, and with a single strike struck off the rabbit's tail, and, being as spry as she was, sewed the tail back onto her body before Rabbit knew what was going on. "Don't you think it looks far better on me than it does on you?" asked the cat. "It sure does look quite well on you," said the generous rabbit. "It was too long for me anyway. You know what? Keep it if you give me that knife in exchange." And so, Cat gave Rabbit the knife, and he went into the deep forest with it. "I lost my tail, but I got a knife. I'll get a nail tail or something. It'll be just as good." He then came across an old little basket maker making baskets from reeds. However, he had no knife and was biting the rushes off with his teeth. He saw Mr. Rabbit with a knife and said, "Oh, Mr. Rabbit, that does seem like a sharp knife you have. It is quite hard to make baskets with but my teeth." Rabbit lent the knife to the old basket maker, but as he cut the rushes with it, the knife snapped and broke in two. Oh dear, the knife! You have broken my nice new knife." The old man, seeing this, apologized profusely. "I am so sorry, dear Rabbit." "Oh, and broken knife is no use to me, but perhaps you can use it, even broken as it is. Tell you what, keep the knife and just give me one of your baskets and it'll be all good." And so, the old man gave Rabbit a basket, and Rabbit went on to the woods with it. "I've lost my tail, but got a knife. I lost my knife, but gained a basket. I'll get a new tail or something just as good, I know I will." And as Rabbit hopped along the forest, he came across a clearing, and here an old woman was engaged in picking lettuce. She had a pot on her apron, and went down far. When she had gathered the cabbages, she had put them in her apron, and when she saw Rabbit hopping along with his basket, "Oh, Mr. Rabbit, would you not be so kind as to let me borrow that basket you have?" And Rabbit, being as generous as he was, lent her the basket. But when she put lettuce in it, the basket broke and the lettuce fell out the bottom. "Oh dear, oh no! The basket, my new nice basket, is broken. The bottom is broken." The old woman apologized profusely, not meaning to, but Rabbit said, "Keep the basket, and just give me some of your lettuce and it'll be all good." And The old woman gave the rabbit some lettuce, and he hopped along. I lost my tail, but gained the knife. I lost my knife, but I gained a basket. I lost my basket, but I gained some lettuce. The rabbit was getting quite hungry at this point, trekking all over the forest, and the lettuce smelled quite delicious. He took a bite, and by Jove, this is the best thing I've had all my life. I don't care about my tail. This is very much worth it. And from that day onwards, the rabbit has had no tail. But of course, that day onwards, the rabbit has not cared for a tail. And rabbits have been perfectly content to simply eat lettuce and be happy with their life. The next tale is from farther north, a Cherokee's tale. Back long, long ago, the rabbit had a very bushy tail, even more bushy than the fox's. The rabbit was most proud of his tail and would constantly brag about his beautiful tail, and the fox eventually had enough of the rabbit's of his tail. One cold day, the fox went down to the lake, carrying 4 fish, and once he reached it, he cut a hole in the ice and for Rabbit to pass by. When Fox saw Rabbit coming, he dropped his tail into the cold water and was asked by Rabbit what he was doing. What are you doing? Well, I'm fishing, Rabbit. With your tail? Oh, yes. It is the best way to catch fish. And, pulling out his tail, he revealed the 4 fish that he had previously tied to his tail. But 15 minutes. What do you plan to do with the fish you catch? Asked Rabbit. Well, I'll fish for a week, and then I'll go sell the fish and trade for beautiful tail combs. If I fish all night, I will have enough to get those tail combs all for myself. But it is getting late and I'm getting cold. I'll come back in the morning. As soon as Fox was out of sight, Rabbit dropped his own tail into the icy pool. It was quite cold, but those combs were to be his, and so he fished all night long. And when morning came, Rabbit was still there. What are you doing, Rabbit? Asked Fox, seeing his companion frozen. I'm fishing. Have you caught any? But unfortunately, Rabbit had his tail frozen into the ice. You gotta help me, Fox. I'm stuck. So, the great grin on his face, Fox gave Rabbit quite one mighty shove, and Rabbit popped right out of the hole. But his tail was still frozen, stuck in the water, and ever since, Rabbit has had a very short tail. The end.